Have you noticed how climbing a single flight of stairs leaves you breathless, or how standing for just a few minutes makes your legs feel shaky and unreliable? If you're over 50, you've probably felt that unsettling moment when your knees buckle slightly, or when getting up from a chair requires more effort than it should. So this is interesting, right? Because most people think weak legs are just about losing muscle, but they don't realize there is actually something far more critical happening beneath the surface, and it sort of silently threatens your independence. There's this 2023 study from Johns Hopkins Medicine, a really eye-opening one actually, showing that adults over 50 lose about 3% of their leg strength every year. It's almost like a cascade of balance issues or fall risks, or even just reduced mobility, and it happens once you hit 60 especially. But before we get there, I want to share a bit of a breakthrough because I'll reveal 3 medically approved exercises that rebuild strength with minimal effort. I'm also going to expose one common approach. You'll see it recommended by trainers all the time. That's a bad thing not to avoid because it actually accelerates joint wear. One particular research from the American College of Sports Medicine confirms this risk, which is fascinating, so I'll show you how to build resilient legs without that damage. I've saved the most transformative exercise for last, the one that addresses a critical weakness almost everyone over 50 has but doesn't know about, and it could change everything. Now let me explain why these specific exercises matter so profoundly, or basically why they work when traditional workouts fail. You see, most exercises focus on the shortening phase, like pushing up in a squat, but here's the thing, we actually lose our eccentric strength much faster. Eccentric strength is basically your muscle's ability to control lengthening, kind of like when you're lowering yourself into a chair or walking downstairs. This is exactly why so many senior men and women can push themselves up, but then struggle desperately when lowering down, or why descending stairs feels way more treacherous than climbing them. The 3 exercises I'm about to share specifically target that eccentric strength or isometric endurance, or even just general stability. They're designed for people whose knees can't handle high-impact movements, whose balance isn't what it used to be, and who need results without spending hours in a gym or risking injury. This is precisely who these exercises are for, anyone over 50 who wants their legs to feel strong, stable, and trustworthy again. So let's dive into these 3 simple, yet powerfully effective exercises that will rebuild your leg strength and restore the confidence you've been missing. So, your calves are actually far more important than you might think. It's not like they're just muscles that help you walk or stand on your toes. There's this research, this is actually a fascinating one, from the University of Southern California, which reveals that calf muscles act as your body's second heart. They're pumping blood back up from your lower legs to your heart with every step you take. When your calves weaken, blood circulation to your legs slows dramatically, leading to swelling or cramping, or even just that heavy, tired feeling that makes short walks exhausting. But here's the thing about eccentric calf raises. They basically target the lengthening phase, which is exactly where aging muscles lose strength fastest. When you slowly lower your heels, actually let me clarify, you want to go below the level of your toes during this exercise to activate fibers in a way that traditional raises simply cannot replicate. This controlled lowering motion builds exceptional strength in the Achilles tendon or the soleus muscle, the deep one responsible for balance. One study, a very promising one, from the American College of Sports Medicine confirms that this eccentric training produces about 30% greater strength gains with significantly less joint stress. However, before I explain the next step, here's how you do it. Stand on the edge of a step with your heels hanging off. Rise up, then slowly lower your heels over a count of 3 to 5 seconds. The key is in that slow, controlled descent. That's where the real transformation happens. Experts recommend starting with 2 sets of 10 repetitions, 3 times per week, and you can hold on to a railing for balance as needed. Now, while these are excellent for anyone over 50, they're especially beneficial for people who deal with calf cramping or ankle instability, or even difficulty walking on uneven surfaces, and the next exercise targets an even deeper instability pattern. Reverse walking or backward walking. So here's something that might surprise you. Walking backward, and actually this matters more than you think, activates your quads up to 25% more than forward walking. This particular research from the Journal of Biomechanics points this out, noting that quads are critical for standing up or climbing stairs, yet they're the first to go. But reverse walking does something even more remarkable because it forces your brain to recalibrate your balance in ways that forward walking simply cannot. When you walk backward, you're engaging proprioceptors. Those are basically specialized nerve endings that tell your brain where your body is in space. These proprioceptors deteriorate naturally as you age, which is why balance becomes shakier and falls become more common. By practicing this, you're literally retraining your nervous system to respond faster to terrain or body position, and it's an ugly thing not to try if you want to stay steady. Harvard Medical School research confirms that backward walking improves dynamic balance more effectively than almost any other low-impact exercise, reducing fall risk by about 40%. Here's the safest way to start. Find a clear hallway or use a treadmill. Start very slow, like on the lowest setting. Take small, controlled steps. Remember to keep your core engaged, and start with just a minute or two at a time. If you're using a treadmill, hold the side rails for stability, because even though it's safe, you don't want to overdo it at first. While reverse walking benefits everyone seeking better balance, it's especially transformative for people who've noticed wobbliness or a history of near falls, and the final exercise I've saved for you addresses a different, but equally critical weakness that keeps your legs strong under sustained pressure. If you're new here and finding this helpful, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to the Health Waiver community. It's completely free, and we share science-backed health tips designed specifically for seniors just like you. Also, drop a comment below and let me know how old you are and how your health has been lately. I genuinely love to hear from you. Split squat isometric hold. Now, here's the exercise most people basically overlook, yet it's actually one of the most powerful for functional leg strength. Instead of moving around, you're just holding a static position under tension, and this creates a completely different type of strength, which is fascinating once you feel it. Research from the National Strength and Conditioning Association. And hold on, before we get there, it shows that these holds build incredible endurance in those fibers responsible for postural stability. But here's the problem with things like leg presses or even seated leg extensions. They place an ugly amount of compressive force on your knees while doing almost nothing for real-world stability. Actually, these machine movements isolate muscles in sort of unnatural patterns, and for a lot of people over 50, that can accelerate cartilage wear. One study, one from Johns Hopkins Arthritis Center, confirms this risk, and honestly, I read about this, and it's really concerning how it increases joint stress. The split squat isometric hold, on the other hand, is a different story because it trains your legs in a functional way that mimics real life. It's building strength exactly where you need it. Here's how you do it. Step 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, then lower yourself until your knee is at roughly 90 degrees, or basically as low as you can comfortably go. Hold that for 20 to 30 seconds. Keep your core tight. Maybe use a chair for balance if you need to. It's particularly valuable for people who struggle with standing for a long time, or climbing stairs, or even just getting up from a low chair. So there you have it, 3 medically approved ways to rebuild those legs. You've got eccentric calf raises for circulation, or reverse walking for balance, or even these split squat holds for that deep stability. It's not a bad thing to start with just one exercise this week. Master it, then gradually add the others as you feel stronger. Each of these exercises is backed by solid research and designed specifically for people over 50 who want more reliable legs without risking injury. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 3 surprised you the most? Subscribe to stay updated on more science-backed health tips, and drop a comment below letting me know where you're watching from and what you think. Thank you so much for watching and for taking this step towards stronger, healthier legs.